Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, for summer school, we have about 5 weeks to prepare for the Algebra 2 Regents exam. And what I want to do is I want to focus on the things that normally show up on the exam that I think that we can solve either with the help of the calculator or by learning how to do some particular technique mathematically. So what we're starting with today is one of the things that I think is very important. This is really important for the Algebra 2 exam. It's even more important than it is for the Algebra 1 exam. And it's something that I call the store and check. And I looked at the June Regents exam, and there were several examples that you could have used the store and check on to answer those questions. So what I want to do is I want to go through and I want to show you how to use the store and check first of all, and then I want to show you kind of what kind of questions you should be on the lookout for in order to be able to use the store and check. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And let me move this up a little bit. Okay. And so, very first thing, if you look at what's on my iPad, it says which expression is equivalent. Now, that's the word that you should be looking for, especially on the Algebra 2 exam. Let me circle it. Whenever you see this expression that's equivalent, you know that you can plug in a number, any number for x, and calculate the original expression and then go find the one that matches. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do using your calculator. So very first thing, let me grab the calculator. Where is my calculator? All right, so now, very first thing you're going to do is you're going to store a number into X. And remember, you have to start with the number. You start with the number. I'm going to say this a couple times because some of you are going to start with a variable and it's not going to work and you're going to get frustrated. Always start with the number that you want to store. So that's the first thing. Start with the number. Second question is, what number can you use? You can basically use any number that you want except for 1 or 0, because 1 and 0 are really strange numbers and sometimes it'll just give you some misleading results. So I like to use $1.25. So that's what I'm going to do. $1.25. And then I'm going to store that into X. Boom. There you go. So once I've stored that, I'm going to go to the original expression. So let me go back to my iPad. So the original expression is parentheses x plus 2 squared minus 5 times x plus 2 plus 6. Now, so I'm going to key in this original expression exactly like I see it, and then I'm going to get a number. So let's do that. So we're going to do parentheses x plus 2 squared, and then it's minus 5 parentheses x plus 2 parentheses, and then we're going to do plus 6. Now I get, this is 31, this is a little bit over 31 cents, but it doesn't matter what the number is. What you're going to do is you're going to look for the answer choice that gives you exactly this answer. So now I'm going to go to the first one. Now, I'm going to go ahead and key this in the original way because I want you guys to see the errors and everything. But okay, actually it's not plus, it's minus. So this is going to be -1. Boom. And then you just press enter. Now it says, hey, I got an error here because it says this is invalid implied multiplication. All this means is you're supposed to put an actual multiplication between the x and the parentheses. So once you do that, you're good. So when you see an error like that, you just have to know how to fix it. So now you press enter and they match. So these two expressions are equivalent. They have the exact same output when you put in an input of $1.25. So this one and this one are absolutely equivalent. So once you see that, you go back and you circle this one. You would circle this and say that's the answer. You don't have to check anymore. You can stop there, okay? So again, whenever you see the word equivalent and it's an expression, you can store a number for X, plug in a number for X, and get an answer, and then you're going to go through and you're going to find the one that matches. All right, so let's go to another example. I want to do another one. I want you to see this is a really easy thing to do, but it's very valuable. All right, so let me clear this off. I'm going to go menu 15, clear, boom, it's done. All right, so go back to the actual exam. So this one says the expression, and it has this quotient. It has x to the fourth minus 5x squared plus 4x plus 14 divided by x plus 2 is equivalent to. So they're saying this expression is equivalent to one of these expressions. So again, all you're going to do is you're going to store a number into x, and you're gonna find out which one of these answer choices matches. Now, in this case, again, don't use 0, don't use 1, but in this case, you also cannot use a -2. And the reason you can't is if you put a -2 in for x, it's going to be a -2 plus 2, and this is going to be 0 on the bottom, and this whole expression is going to be undefined. So you don't want to do that. But basically, I'm going to use $1.25 again. So let me show you how I would do that. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go $1.25, and I'm going to store it right into X. Press enter. Boom, it's done. Now I'm going to key in the expression. Now I'm going to make my calculator look exactly like the exam. So I'm going to use a stack fraction, control divide. And then I'm just going to type that in. X to the fourth. X to the fourth. And then we go minus 5x squared, 5x squared, plus 4x, plus 4x, plus 14, plus 14. Then you go down here and it's x plus 2x plus 2, and then you press enter. And this is about $4.19. Doesn't matter what the number is, but we're looking for one of the expressions that matches this exactly. So now if you think you know what the answer is, you can start with that answer. But if you don't know what the answer is, you should go one by one, start at the top and work your way down to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the first one. It says x to the third. So it's going to be x to the third minus 2x squared minus 2x squared minus x plus 6 plus control divide 2 over x plus 2. Press enter. And the very first one matches. So that means that's our answer. We don't have to check anything else. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you that if you tried the second one, it wouldn't match. So okay, I just want to show you this. So x to the third power, x to the third, boom. Minus 5x plus 4 minus control divide 14 over x plus 2, press enter. Oh, you can see those don't match. This is a negative number, so this one doesn't match. But so if I go back to my answer choice, I know that this is the answer because it matches exactly. Boom, we're done. That's as easy as I can make it. That's what you guys should be looking for. You should be looking for the word equivalent. You should be looking for the word expression. And basically, you're going to store numbers and check to find the one that matches. Okay, let's look at the next example here. What do we got here? All right, so now this is the case 2. Sometimes they usually have one question where they'll ask you for an identity. Now you can use store and check for this one as well, but you gotta be careful. In this case, what we're gonna do is they've given us two variables. So we're going to store numbers for both the X and the Y. And then what we're going to do is we're going to key in the equations and we're going to see which one gives us a true statement. Once they give us a true statement, we know that that's an identity. All right, so let's go back. I'm going to get rid of this menu 14. And then that gets, when I use menu 14, that gets rid of whatever is stored in a variable. And then menu 15 just erases the screen. So the very first thing I'm going to do, since I have two variables, I'm going to store two numbers. So the very first number that I'm going to do is I'm going to do $1.25, and then for the Y, I'm going to do $1 or $2.50. Again, it really doesn't matter what numbers you use as long as it's not 0 and 1. Okay, so let's go grab the calculator and let's try that. So first thing I'm going to do is $1.25, $1.25, store that into X. And then I'm going to do $2.50, and I'm going to store that into Y, and then press enter. Now that I've got those two stored, I'm just going to enter each one of the equations. So the very first one, now you got to make sure that your calculator looks exactly like the exam. Exactly. So I'm going to go X to the third power, and then I'm going to do plus Y to the third power. And then we're going to do equals parentheses X plus Y to the third power. Now, if you guys know how to multiply these out, you could do that as well, but I think it's easier just to check it. So I got a false statement, so that means that's not the answer. So we can go to the answer sheet and we can cross number 1 off because that's not an identity. We just proved it. Now we're going to try the second one. So the second one says X to the third power, X to the third power plus Y to the third, Y to the third, equals, and then what do we have? Parentheses, X plus Y, parentheses, and then we have parentheses X squared minus XY. Now I'm going to enter this exactly how the test has it, but I'm going to get an error message, and then I'm going to show you how to fix the error message because you got to learn how to do that as well. So when I press enter, I get the variable is not defined. And what that basically means is if you see this XY here in the middle, the calculator thinks that you tried to create a new variable with X and Y combined. And that's not what we're doing. We're actually trying to multiply that. So if you do this, the way to fix this is you're going to put an actual multiplication symbol in there. Now notice it went from unbolded to bolded, which means that now we've got numbers stored in there. And now I press enter and it says, hey, that's the answer. That means that these two expressions are equivalent to each other no matter what numbers you put in for X or Y. You can put in any number for X, any number for Y, and this is going to be a true statement. That's what an identity means. So anyway, the answer for this one is number 2. Okay, now they don't have a bunch of questions like this, but they always have one. So you just have to use your store key. You might have to use it a couple times, but you store a number for X, store a number for Y, and then key in the equations and keep keying in the equations till you find the one that gives you a true statement. All right, let's see. There's one more thing I want to show you guys, and then I want you to jump on to the, let's see here. Now, here's the third case. Whenever they give you an equation in the multiple choice section, whenever they give you an equation, you can take the answer choices and store them into the X variable and then key in the equation And again, you're looking for a true statement. If it gives you a true statement, then you know you're on the right track or that you found the answer. If you get a false, that means that's not the answer and you need to go to the next one. So let's go over this one real quick. I'm trying to make this a little larger. All right, so it says, what are the roots of the equation x squared minus 4x equals a negative 13? First of all, you should know that this is a quadratic equation. Also, that means that there could be as many as 2 solutions. So you should be looking for 2 answers. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to check each one of these answer choices by storing them into x, and we're going to see which one gives us a true statement. Okay, so let's do that. Grab the calculator. Let me go here, and I'm going to go menu 14, delete the variable, boom. And then I'm going to go menu 15 and get rid of, clear the screen. So the very first answer that I'm going to try is 2 plus 3i. So this one says it has an imaginary solution, and it doesn't matter. So we're going to go 2 plus 3. And here's where you find the I key, right down here. And it's the second one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do what we did before. We're going to store that number into x. Remember, you always start with the number and you store it into the variable. Now I press enter, and that's what I get. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to key in the equation that they gave us. If I get a true statement, then that means it's the answer. If I get a false, that means I got to keep looking. All right, so the equation is x squared minus 4x equals a negative 13. So equals a negative 13. And then I press enter. I got a true statement. So that means that that is actually the answer for this question. That's as simple as I can make it. Now, this one has 2 answers. It has a plus 3i, 2 plus 3i, and it has 2 minus 3i. I'm going to go ahead and do that one just to show you that it doesn't matter which one of those you choose. They're both going to be right. So I'm going to get rid of the plus, and I'm going to make it a minus. And so I stored that now. So now 2 minus 3i is stored into x. And now all I'm going to do is copy the equation, press enter, and again, as I expected, as you should have expected, they both give us trues. So that means you would go to your answer sheet and you would circle number 1 and keep it moving. Now, so what I want you guys to do is I've given you the June Regents exam that you just took, and I want you to go through the multiple choice section, the first 24 questions, and I want you to look to see where you can use store and check. There should be at least 6 or 7 opportunities for you guys to store and check. So that means that there should be at least 6 or 7 questions that you should automatically be able to get right. Now remember, in order to pass this exam in August, you got to get about 14 questions right. So the more expressions that you can use store and check on, the more equations that you can use store and check on, the better chance that you can pass this exam. The more identities that you can check to see which ones are identities, the better chance you have to pass the exam. So that's what I want you guys to do. Go through each of the 24 questions, and I want you to find the ones that you can use store and check on. All right. And I will see you guys on Thursday. All right. Bye.